Welcome back, everybody. Maverick here, and today we're taking another run at a top 10 list for Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Today we'll be playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and we'll be doing all of the friendships, and we'll be ranking the top 10, our top 10 favorites. Now, how do you rank a friendship? It's not like fatalities or animalities. It's going to be very, very subjective. A lot of people agree when there's a cool fatality, kind of all just look at it and say, wow, that was unique, that was creative, had a lot to do with the character, loved what they did. And same with animalities, you can either hate it or love it, have a very strong opinion regarding it. But when it becomes, when it comes to friendships, they're just so out of left field. How do you grade them? How do you top 10 them? How do you rank these friendships? What I'll be doing is which ones are most friendly. And again, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. It's going to be the ones I like the best, alright? And with that in mind, let's just jump in and give it a shot. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for comments on my rankings, and I look forward to it. But let's just jump in. Okay, Mortal Kombat. Let's jump on in. Do some friendships. After the pause. Alright, here we go. So, naturally, like we did with animalities, we're going to snake our way down the character select screen. That's just the easiest way to do it, so I don't lose track of where I am. Now it's a big-ass character select screen, so we'll be starting with Johnny Cage. But, gosh, just like the animality video, this is going to be like the runtime of a movie or a really long show on HBO. So settle in, grab a drink, grab some popcorn. We're about to go over all of the friendships on Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the PlayStation, starting with Johnny Cage. Alright, here we go. Johnny Cage signs a picture of himself to my best fan, Cage.
Friendship again.
And we get the friendship again. Now, where does this fall in the top 10, if at all? Bouncing into the first spot, the top spot, the only spot for now. And he's in the top spot for now because we're filling in as we go, meaning that if somebody does better than Johnny Cage, it will displace him to the number 2 spot and to the number 3 spot, and so on and so forth until we have our final rankings. Now, the friendship for Johnny Cage is he autographs a picture of himself. It says, "To my best fan, Cage." Now that's friendly, and that's why he's making the top 10 spot. How many movie stars do you know who will stop and autograph a picture of themselves and hand it out to my best fan? I mean, probably a lot, actually. But Johnny Cage, I mean, that's really nice to do to an opponent whose ass you just kicked. So, as far as friendship goes, this one does make the top 10. I really like it. Okay, up next, Noob Saibot. Okay, here we go with Noob Saibot. Oh, here we go. Wow. So we go bowling, but we actually don't get a strike. Looks like we got a solid 8. Maybe we'll set ourselves up for a spare, I don't know. But point being, how friendly is going bowling? Pretty darn friendly. You don't go bowling with people you don't like. You certainly don't go bowling with people who you want to kill via fatality. In this case, Sector. So, I've only ever been bowling with friends, recreationally. Never been in a league or anything like that, which I guess might be a little bit different. But otherwise, bowling is a very friendly thing to do. You go out, you throw balls down a lane, you see how many pins you can knock over, you drink beer, you get some food, you're at a grungy bowling alley. That is a place where you create memories. Maybe it's on a date even. But so for that, I gotta give it to Noob Saibot. That is a very friendly friendship, and let's see, does it make the top 10? Bouncing into the number 1 spot, displacing Johnny Cage with his autographed picture, Noob Saibot, I can never say his name just right, is now currently in the number 1 spot with bowling. Not the strongest bowling performance, I'll say, only getting an 8, hopefully setting up for a spare, but a very strong friendship. Okay, up next we've got the bloodthirsty, filthy Tarkatan Baraka. Okay, here we go with Baraka. What's he got? Oh, he's got a little gift. A nice little bow-tied box that he's presenting as a gift.
Friendship again.
Now that is that is as basic as it gets when you want to be a friend. You know, whether you're going for or more than friends, but point being, if you're going for Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, get well, heck, there's so many occasions where if you just want to be a baseline friend, you get them a gift, you get them a present, and that's a big step for a Tarkatan, a bloodthirsty, ruthless Tarkatan like Baraka. To give someone a gift, wow, that's huge. That has got to be the epitome of friendship for someone like Baraka. So, does it make the top 10? Bouncing in at the number 3 spot, bringing up the rear, but still on the top 10, Baraka with his gift giving. I mean, it's the most basic of friendship gestures. Gestures. Either way, he's given a present to his opponent who he could have killed, and instead he's given them a present. That is friendship. Now it comes behind Johnny Cage's autograph of his picture, which I do love how that picture like comes up front and center on the camera so you can see it. And then, my goodness, New Sabot with the rolling an 8 in bowling. That's just a great friendship all around. So far we've had 3 characters and we've gotten 3 in a row who have made the top 10. I'm not sure how long this streak can continue, but so far we're on a 3 in a row streak. Which in bowling, I believe they call that a turkey. 3 strikes in a row. Okay, who's next? It's Cyrax. Okay, here we go with Cyrax. Oh, and he's doing the Charleston. Oh, he's doing it good too. That is a great example of the Charleston. He's got the head going, the hands going, the knees going, the ankles going. What a clinic put on by Cyrax with the Charleston dance. Now, I do like that. I mean, if you're going to go hang out with friends, dancing is something you'll do, and showing them how to dance is even friendlier. So, does that make the top 10? Hopping into the number 3 spot, displacing Baraka's baseline gift giving, is Cyrax's Charleston dance, teaching you how to dance after he kicks your ass. Nothing more classic than that. Now, it does fall behind Johnny Cage's autograph and Noob Saibot's bowling, because, you know, how the hell are we really ranking these? But anyways, I do love Cyrax's friendliness when it comes to... Well, I can only imagine he's trying to teach his opponent how to dance, because he's doing it in expert style. I mean, gosh, it's not easy to make the Charleston look that seamless like he did. Of course, he's a robot, a cyborg rather, so maybe that's where he gets his advantage. But man, Cyrax can dance is the bottom line, and he does make the top 10. Okay, so that's 4 in a row. Johnny Cage, Noob Saibot, Baraka, Cyrax. Why do I get the feeling Sonya Blade is going to be the combo breaker here? Let's see what she's got.
Sonya.
Okay, Sonya Blade, show us what you got.
Sonya.
I mean, she made a bunch of flowers pop up,
Friendship.
but that's about it.
Again.
I mean, I'm not really into this, but let's just break it down. So, she brings up, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 flowers. Doesn't do anything with them. You know, if it were a good friendship, spoiler alert, Sonya Blade is the combo breaker. She doesn't make the top 10. Because if this were a good friendship, if this were a top 10 friendship, she maybe would have plucked a flower and handed it to Jade. Or maybe plucked a flower and sniffed it, watered the flowers. I don't know. Do anything besides just bring up 10 to 15 flowers that you're going to stomp around on. That's not very friendly. And, you know, I can't help but to think that Sonya Blade has been dogged with... and this isn't Sonya Blade's fault. Don't get me wrong. This is the developer's fault. She's been dogged with the same outfit. It hasn't been an upgrade since Mortal Kombat 1. She's been dogged with shitty moves, with shitty fatalities, and come to find out, shitty friendships. This is just a travesty for an otherwise, well, I wouldn't say great character, but a character with the potential to be great. So all I can do is sigh and say, not top 10. Not top 10, Sonya. Okay, so after that travesty, we've got Raiden. Kid Thunder 2. I mean, is that a reference to Kid Thunder 1? Maybe that was his Mortal Kombat 2 friendship. I'm not actually sure what's going on here. Who is Kid Thunder?
Friendship again.
It's like a smaller Raiden. Now, I think there's like some kind of I don't know, official canon lore that somebody somewhere mentioned. I'd have to look up the source to be definitive. Mentioned that Kid Thunder is actually Raiden's favorite cousin, implying that he's got a whole family tree. I don't know what to make of that, but bottom line is this is not a friendship that gets me excited. It's not one I like. It's not a top 10 friendship for me. It's just weird. You know, it's that weird, you know, if we're relating it back to friendliness, it's that weird friend who brings along like a 10-year-old cousin to an event that really has no business having a child at. And that's exactly what Raiden did. He brought a child into Mortal Kombat where he was previously just trying to kick Mileena's ass, and now he's like, hey, little cousin, come check this out. That's, you know, that's not friendly for me. That's not the right type of friendliness for me. So Raiden with a big L here, not on the top 10. Okay, who's next? Now you might say, hey, the classic characters didn't have animalities. Did they have friendships? Well, it's a little bit of a bullshit answer. Some of them, yes. Classic Jax, for example, I believe has a friendship. Classic MK2 Raiden does not. So for whatever reason, he just doesn't. We're moving on to Rain. Okay, here we go against Jade. Oh, okay. So Rain actually has a little water spout that grows some flowers. Now it's a step above Sonya Blades. Yeah, it's a step above Sonya Blades because we're not just manifesting flowers out of nowhere. Rain is actually living up to his namesake, creating some rain and growing some flowers. Now, does this make the top 10? Not for me. Not for me, it doesn't, because, you know, that's great that Rain's got a green thumb and he's growing some flowers, but he still doesn't pick them to hand to his opponent. Doesn't smell them, he just grows them. It's the same shit as Sonya Blade's friendship, except he's got a little rain. It is a step above, but just a step above. I don't know, I way too similar to Sonya's still. I can't give it a top 10 placement. Moving on. Up next is Shang Tsung. Alright, Shang Tsung. What did you turn into? I don't know, was that like a little fairy? Like a Tinkerbell? Had like a little bell noise as it ran off. Now I'm not entirely sure what just happened. So it's going to be hard to rank this on the friendships. In fact, I think rather than being friendly, this is actually like one of the creepiest friendships you could ever imagine. Because get this, Shang Tsung morphs into, let's just call it a fairy, okay? That implies that he has stolen the soul of a fairy in order to transform into it. Meaning this dude was like hitting up the Tooth Fairy or some kind of like happy world, and he just went in there and boom, fatality to the fairy and sucked their soul out. And now for friendship, he's turning into that fairy, indicating that, oh, I'm so evil, I will steal the soul of a fairy. How is that friendly? I mean, I guess if you're running around with Shao Kahn, and Motaro, and Goro, maybe that's like a flex, but it sure as shit isn't friendly, so no way does this make it on the top 10 friendships. Sorry, that's just weird. Up next, Mileena. Okay, let's see what Mileena's got. Pulls out a hand mirror, breaks it with her ugly face. You know, I don't appreciate this friendship one bit. And let me tell you why. Come on now. So this friendship isn't making the top 10 because it's not. Okay, let me explain. Mileena is one of my biggest crushes in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, if not the biggest. I mean, in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, she's up there, but of all of Mortal Kombat Trilogy included, she's probably number 1. So what they've done is they've implied that my biggest crush is horrendously ugly because she pulls out a mirror, looks at it, and breaks the mirror because she's so ugly. Now I get this could be construed as friendly, like if you're in a group and you want to bring up someone's confidence, you're the ugly one, kind of put that baseline at the bottom of everyone else's confidence, but not when it's my girl Mileena. Alright, this does not make the top 10 for that reason. I'm practically, I'm just offended. Okay, so after that travesty, we've got Jax. Okay, Jax, show us what you got. He's gonna do a little jump rope. Okay. Okay, we get it, Jax, you're jacked. and you're probably really good at cardio, alright?
Friendship.
But what does that have to do with being friendly and a friendship? I don't know. He just starts working out. Maybe that's all Jax knows how to do. I bet he's got like no friends. Maybe Sonya Blade is like a quasi work friend. But otherwise, this guy's just at the gym lifting weights. I mean, he's Jack, hence his name. So he does what he knows. He pulls out a jump rope, starts doing cardio. Not on the top 10 for this reason. I don't really like it. Moving on. Okay, now as previously noted, before moving on to Reptile, Classic Jax has a friendship. Alright, Classic Jax, what you got?
Jax.
He does origami. Hey, at least he knows how to do something besides lift weights or do cardio, I'll give him that. But when it comes to, is this a top 10 friendship of Mortal Kombat Trilogy, the answer is absolutely not. I mean, he does a little cutout pretty quick, which is impressive, but for one reason or another, it's just not one of my top favorites. There's too many friendlier or better displays of friendship that we'll run into. So, Jax, MK Trilogy, and Classic MK2 Jax strike out, do not make the top 10 friendship list. And who do we have up next? Looks like we've got a row of ninjas coming up, starting with Reptile. Okay, let's see what you got, Reptile. I mean, okay, it's like a little Jack in the Box, wind up Jack in the Box, dick in a box thing, but it's a giant snake. Okay, so does this make the top 10? You know, the answer's no. His opponent actually runs away, frightened. I mean, Reptile scares the dickens out of his opponent. This isn't anywhere near a friendship. I actually don't know where the developers got the idea that this would make a good friendship. I mean, it's funny, it's Jack in the Box, but there's nothing friendly about it. I mean, if you take a like a clown up to a small child and scare them with it, that's not friendly. That's kind of messed up. So, in terms of friendliness, this is not a very good friendship, and it does not make the top 10. Okay, we'll be picking up with our next ninja, Smoke. Okay, Smoke, what you got? No smoking allowed. Interesting. Okay.
Friendship again.
Now, that is kind of, his smoke turns off. You'll notice that his smoke actually turns off if the character's no longer smoking. And you say, you know what? Okay, that is pretty friendly. If you're a smoker and you're puffing on cigarette after cigarette or cigar after cigar, and someone comes around and says, hey, I don't like the smell of that smoke. I don't want my clothes or my hair smell like smoke. You stop smoking. And that's exactly what Smoke does. He puts up a no smoking allowed sign, and his character stops smoking. That's a neat touch. Now, it's friendly, sure, it's an improvement on Reptiles, but is it a top 10 friendship? Not for me. No, it's not a top 10 friendship for me. This is more of something like a you do out of being polite, not something you do because someone's your friend. You know, if a stranger comes up to you and asks you to stop smoking in a public area, you don't say, hey, go fuck yourself. No, you generally say, alright, hey, I'll move away, or I'll get the smoke out of your face, whatever. It's not something you exclusively reserve for friends, so not the top 10. Sorry, Smoke. Okay, and that brings us to technically a ninja, although we all know how I feel about the overall Sub-Zero and accounting version of this ninja, but nonetheless, Sub-Zero's next. Alright, Sub-Zero, what you got? Okay, it makes himself into a snowman. Now that's a creative use of ice and freezing powers. I really like that. And, I mean, of all the things Sub-Zero could do, you know, they could have given him a Jack-in-the-Box with a snowman coming out, but actually, they went a different route, actually turning himself into a snowman. Now this makes the top 10. Where's it going to land? It comes bouncing in at the number 1 spot, for now, the number 1 spot, beating out Noob Saibot's Bowling Alley friendship, along with the Johnny Cage autograph, Cyrax Charleston, and Baraka basic friendship gift giving. Now, why am I giving Sub-Zero Snowman the number 1 spot? It's because when I was a kid, when you're a teenager, hell, even if you're an adult, on a snow day, if you've got friends around, something that comes up is, do you want to go build a snowman? And that's exactly what Sub-Zero did. He built himself into a snowman. This is such a classic archetype and theme throughout, really throughout the world in which there's snow, that there's even a very, very successful Disney movie off of it. What's it called? I think it's called Frozen. Elsa, the main character. Regardless, Sub-Zero building himself into a snowman is the epitome of friendship on a snow day. Get yourself out there, build a snowman, and that's exactly what Sub-Zero did, and that's exactly why he's at the #1 spot for now. Up next, Scorpion. Okay, Scorpion, you're up. Okay, it's another Jack in the Box, Dick in a Box skull, fire skull from Scorpion. I mean, goodness, these ninjas, I swear. Does this make the top 10? I mean, obviously not. This is not a top 10 friendship. It's probably one of the top 10 worst friendships. Again, much like Reptile, it's a big Jack in the Box designed to scare your opponent, not to be friendly towards them. It's almost as if these Lin Kuei ninjas, Lin Kuei warriors, it's almost as if they're these big, bad ninjas trained, I mean, and they are, trained to be assassins, and of course they are. So when you task them with doing something friendly in a friendship, they're really not sure how to do it. You know, it's like the awkward tough guy trying to intentionally make a friend. It just doesn't work out. It's awkward, it's off-putting, and sure enough, Scorpion scaring his opponent away on the friendship, not making the top 10. Okay, so who's next? It's Kano of the Black Dragon. Alright, Kano. Pops in a piece of bubblegum and blows it on his face. Popping it on his face. What a mess.
Friendship.
Nah, we'll have to give it to Kano. For a tough guy, that was a very good display of friendship. You know, it's much better than Reptile and Scorpion. The guy actually popped a piece of bubblegum in his mouth and popped it on his own face, making light of the situation, I guess. That's a very welcoming thing to do, sure. But does it make the top 10? Absolutely not. No, Kano is not making the top 10. It's just, you know, it's goofy, but it's not really friendly. So, on to the next one. Okay, up next, Katana. Okay, Katana, let's see it. Blowing bubbles. Gets out the bubble wand and lays out some bubbles. Okay, they pop all over Jade. Now, does this make the top 10? You know, you might be surprised to hear me say that it does make the top 10. And, well, let's just see where it comes bouncing into. Bouncing in at the #5 spot. Not a very high spot, but nonetheless, it's making the top 10. And let me tell you why. There is no place, I mean really, no place where you're going to pull out a bubble wand and blow bubbles unless you're with friends. I mean, let's think about it. Babies and toddlers love bubbles, sure. They're always with friends when they're doing it. You see bubbles at birthday parties. Oh yeah, you better believe it. You're going to see bubbles at birthday parties. You're going to see bubbles at raves. I mean, come on, who hasn't been to a rave where there's like a random bubble machine just like blowing bubbles out on high people everywhere as the trance music bumps in the background? That's obviously not what Katana's getting into right here. Hers was a very mild bubble wand, blowing bubbles on her opponent. But nonetheless, the association of friendships and bubbles is so close that this is making the top 10, and I love it for that reason. #5, Katana. Alright, snaking our way down the character select to Sector right now. Let's go. Sector. Okay, Sector, show us your stuff. Pulls out a hammer, does the little strength competition thing. How high can you hit the weight with the hammer? It's like a little circus thing. I mean, sure, it's friendly. It's probably highly associated with fairs where, you know, you most often go with friends. But for whatever reason, you know, this is more like an individual display of strength. Not really something you do with friends, although I guess if you're competing with strength, maybe that's like a friendly game. But man, this one just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all will like it, but it's not for me. I can't even tell if Sector gets the weight all the way to the top. Like, did he do a good job? I can't tell. So this one doesn't make the top 10 for me. So there's just no other way to put it. I mean, it's just a little bit lackluster. with Sector's friendship. Nothing wrong with it. But we'll be moving on to Liu Kang. Alright, Liu Kang. Oh, look at that. He gets a projector out. He does a little finger puppet show creating a dragon. And look at that dragon tongue. And look at his smile. Have you ever seen Liu Kang smile like that? Now, this friendship puts a smile on Liu Kang's face. It puts a smile on my face. And it puts a smile on his opponent's face. So, yes, all those smiles, it's earning a top 10 spot. Where's it going to bounce into? Okay, it's bouncing into the number 5 spot, displacing Katana and Baraka. Now, why do I like this so much? It's tough to make a finger puppet show, but if you can pull it off, and Liu Kang does pull it off masterfully, he makes a dragon with a pretty serpentine tongue, which that would be very hard to do with your fingers, but he does it, he pulls it off, and the crowd goes wild. I like it, his opponent likes it, I'm willing to bet most of you like it, and Liu Kang certainly likes it with that big grin he shoots us. So man, this one's checking off a lot of boxes, and he earns his top 10 spot on the top 10 friendships of Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Just love this one. Okay, who's up after Liu Kang? None other than Jade. Alright, Jade, let's see it. Pogo stick. So that staff isn't just a weapon to beat your ass, it's also a pogo stick. Now, she's going pretty high too. Is she getting like 10 feet in the air there? Total? I mean, where her head reaches? Of course, she's probably only getting like, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet off the ground, pogo stick wise. Anyways, this is a good friendship, but is it a top 10? Not for me. This is like a number, I don't know, honorable mention, like 11, 12, that kind of area. Pogo stick is fun, but not everyone can participate in it because it's a very hard thing to do. You gotta balance yourself. It's more of a thing to show off, you know? Not something you do with friends. Maybe if you've got another athletic gymnastic friend, and I'm sure Jake does. I mean, damn, look at her. But, all that aside, not a top 10, an 11 or 12. Okay, up next is Shiva. Alright, Shiva. Okay, she gets out her sticks and does the spinning plates trick with all 4 of her arms. What impeccable balance. Here's the thing. And some of you may know what I'm going to say, but here's the thing. This isn't really a friendship, and this is more of a Shokan seduction, because look at Shiva. Yeah, she's spinning plates, but what she's really doing is sticking that ass out with nothing but a thong riding up in between those cheeks. Now, she could have faced forward when she was doing this, but she turned around because this is some kind of form of Shokan seduction, I'm convinced. This isn't a friendship. This is a more than friendship. And for that reason, I mean, it's incredible. It's seductive. And, I mean, it's talented. Sure, you're spinning plates while also, you know, putting that ass out there on display with nothing but a thong riding up between the cheeks, but it is not a friendship. Make no mistake. This quote, friendship is a lot of things, but it is not a friendship. So, I mean, I just can't put it on the top 10 for those reasons. Even though I do love it, I just can't put it on the top 10. Okay, after Shiva, we are up to Kung Lao, and Kung Lao is actually one of those characters that has a classic version of himself. And I think I may have forgotten to mention Kano, who also has a classic version of himself. Classic Kano, unfortunately, the better of the 2 Kanos, does not have a friendship. He goes into that category of classic characters without friendships with classic Raiden. It's just classic Jax and classic Kung Lao that have friendships. But for now, we'll start off with the modernized, overallized Kung Lao. Alright, Kung Lao. Throws his hat, a dog chases it. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Okay. That's much more of a fatality than it is a friendship. Now, why would I say that? Why is that more of a fatality than a friendship? Well, Kung Lao's hat is actually like rimmed with a very sharp blade. You can see it in his fatalities where he throws his hat and it cuts someone's head off, or he uses his hat in Mortal Kombat 2 to slice the body in half, which is one of the coolest fatalities there is in all of Mortal Kombat. But in this, quote, friendship, he's actually pulling off a fatality on a dog because it's off screen, sure, But he throws his hat, and the dog chases it. Presumably the dog tries to catch it, at least cuts his mouth, if not cuts the dog's head off. This is a fatality that is low for even Mortal Kombat. You know, you can kill humans all day in Mortal Kombat, but man, you do not want to be killing a dog. I mean, it's all... Think about it. John Wick, the first one, is based off of killing a dog. It's something that you just don't want to do. So let's hope that wasn't John Wick's dog for Kung Lao's sake. But nonetheless, this obviously isn't making the top 10 because it's not even a friendship. It's more of a fatality. What else is there to say? Up next, classic Kung Lao. Let's hope he doesn't kill a dog. For fuck's sake, please don't kill another dog, Kung Lao. Alright, classic Kung Lao. Okay, pulls a rabbit out of his hat. That's a lot better use of your hat. I'll give it to him. That is a much better use of the hat than it is throwing as a bladed hat as a frisbee for a dog. Now, you have to be wondering, is that good enough to make the top 10? And I'll just put it plainly, the answer is no. It's a great magic trick, pulling a rabbit out of a hat, but it's not really something that's going to make the top 10 friendship in Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I'm sorry to say, there's just way friendlier things that other people have done. You got building a snowman, going bowling, giving a gift. I mean, pulling a rabbit out of a hat is cool. It's cool. It's a nice magic trick. But that's more of a showmanship. If this were a showmanship instead of a friendship, yeah, it'd be on there. But as it is, not on the top 10. Okay, and up next is Smoke. Alright, Smoke. What?
Smoke wins.
What?
Flawless victory.
That's like a giant horn that comes out of Smoke's body and like honks at his opponent. Now, I honestly don't know what to say about this one. You know, you can get those really loud horns and put them on trucks or other cars as a prank to scare people. But if you're bringing out a big horn like that to scare people as a prank, that's not really what I would call a friendship. It's more of a dick thing to do, in my opinion. I mean, if somebody's walking in front of you and you hit them with that horn, like a big foghorn without them expecting it, oh, they're gonna piss or shit themselves. And if they're like 80 or 90, they're gonna have a heart attack or fall over and break a hip. It's just a dangerous thing to do. It's not a friendship. Not a friendship at all. But Smoke is a cyborg. This is Cyborg Smoke. So he may actually might not understand the concept of friendship. I mean, Cyrax did, but we won't go there. That would be counterproductive to the current argument of Smoke not understanding a friendship. But needless to say, it does not make the top 10. Okay, let's see if Cabal can follow up that travesty of friendship from Smoke. Cabal. Alright, Cabal. Pulls out his shish kebab, his sword, puts a marshmallow on it, and puts it over a fire. Oh, he's gonna roast marshmallows with Sindel. Well, I actually really like this one. So Cabal gets out his sword. I'm not sure what kind of sword or blade it is. It's a unique one. It probably has a very specific name, but whatever it is, he puts a marshmallow on it. Starts to roast marshmallows over the open flame. Now, let's just see where this one falls. Bouncing in to the #1 spot is Cabal roasting marshmallows. And if you're wondering, hey, Maverick, how could this be #1? Let me break it down. Let me convince you that this is a #1 friendship. So here's the deal. If you like marshmallows and roasting them over the open flame, it's a heck of a treat. You're probably going to make s'mores. In fact, you're probably going to do it at night while you're camping under the stars with a bunch of friends, probably like 4 or 5 friends. But even if it's just one, this is something friends do when they're out in the wilderness or outside at night, typically with fire lighting the area. And it's not that you're just with friends, it's something that you do with friends. But this is going to create a scene in which you don't just do with friends and you don't just make with friends, but it's something that results in oftentimes making best friends. It's a bonding moment. You're going to talk under the stars, you're going to eat marshmallows and spend time together, probably with not a lot of electronics getting in the way. It's a classic friendship thing to do, roasting s'mores under the night sky, and that's exactly what Cabal is offering up to his opponent. Let's make some s'mores. Let's bond. That is a #1 friendship in my book, and I love it. Okay, up next we have Stryker. He's got a heck of an act to follow with Cabal's marshmallow roasting, but let's see what Stryker's got to offer. Okay, Stryker, let's see it. He blows his whistle and he creates a stopwalk. Wow, look at all of these people going across. Wow. Maybe that must have been like 6, 7, or 8 people that went across there. So Stryker's manning the crosswalk, blows his whistle, holds up the stop sign, allows a number of people to cross safely. And in Mortal Kombat, crossing safely is not something that's always guaranteed. So it's good guy Stryker. And does this make the top 10? Bouncing into the #2 spot is Stryker's crosswalk friendship. And you might say, hey, what's the deal? Why is this one ranked so high? Well, I mean, what better friend is there who looks out for your safety and the safety of others? It's a dangerous world, and good guy Stryker is out there being the best friend he can be, making sure that, hey, I'm gonna get you where you're going safely. And I don't know, I just gotta give him credit, respect. That's a big deal, because if you saw, I mean, that was a number of people who got across the screen safely when he could have done a fatality on them. He could have done a brutality. He could have turned into his damn T-Rex and done an animality, but instead, he's looking out for him. He's the good guy. That's a friendship. That's #2. Up next, classic Sub-Zero. Let's see if he can match regular Sub-Zero. Okay, let's see. Oh no. God, okay, it's another Lin Kuei warrior ninja dick in the box, jack in the box, not fatality, but a friendship. Now, why do I seem so frustrated with this friendship? It's because Reptile had one, Scorpion had one, and now Sub-Zero's got one. None of them are original because they're all copying one another, but even more so, none of them are actually friendships because they're scaring their opponent away. I don't get this one. It's not one that I understand. It's not one that I like. There's nothing friendly about it. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. It's not making the top 10, and that's really all you need to know about this one. On to the next one. Okay, up next is Ermac. Okay, Ermac, let's do it. Wow. Turns Nightwolf into a rabbit.
Friendship.
Wow, that's a heck of a friendship, but here's the thing, I'm not sure it's a friendship. I mean, turning your opponent, I mean, it was a little bit sinister. He like telekinetic raised Nightwolf into the air on his back. I mean, it didn't look like a comfortable thing to be doing, and then he turns him into a rabbit. This is closer to an animality than it is a friendship. I mean, is he going to turn Nightwolf back into a human, or is he just going to leave him to linger Ginyu style as a rabbit? Captain Ginyu style when he's running around Planet Namek as a frog. Sorry for the obscure Dragon Ball reference. But yeah, no, this isn't a friendship in the sense that it's not friendly, so it does not make the top 10. Okay, after Ermac, we've got Sindel. Alright, Sindel.
That was fun!
Wow, she kicks a football. Presumably makes a field goal, given that she's given the all good sign with her hands, and then says, that was fun. Now, you've heard me say Sindel's a bit of a mommy. She's more mature, so I get the feeling that, you know, she's been on the social scene a while, and she knows that football is what brings everyone together. So it seems a little bit random that Sindel would be kicking a field goal, but it's not random. She's been on the scene. She knows how to throw a party, and kicking a field goal and saying that was fun and being the little socializer, putting everybody together, probably in Shao Kahn's castle and throwing a big ass party, is kind of her thing. I get the feeling, and so she can throw a party. She knows what people like. Football. Everyone loves to gather around a big football screen. Even if you don't like the football game itself, you got food, you got beer, you got jokes, you got happy people and good times. You're usually not working. And then she says that was fun. The only friendship with a voiceover. So for that reason, let's see. It does make the top 10. Where's it going to fall? displacing Good Guy Striker, bouncing into the number 2 spot, just behind Making Best Friends Cabal, is Sindel with the field goal kicking football friendship at number 2. You gotta love this one. Now you might say, hey, we've got a full plate 1 through 10, but we still got Nightwolf. Let's see if he can displace someone, I guess displace Baraka, off of this top 10 list. Let's go find out. Okay, Nightwolf, let's do it. Alright, Nightwolf. Okay, I forgot about this one. Turns into Raiden, drops an arcade, and says, no, but I know how to do a Raiden transformation. And it's a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade, I believe. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 arcade. So, what's the deal with this one, you're probably wondering. Okay, so the deal with this one is that I believe for Mortal Kombat 2, there was a rumor that Raiden could morph or transform into Kano, and they're kind of making a mockery out of this by saying, no, but I can do a Raiden transformation, a Nightwolf doing a Raiden transformation instead of Raiden doing a Kano transformation. I don't know, this is deep lore and it has nothing to do with friendships. It's just a random decision by the developers to, you know, play along with the community, which is cool. But it's not a friendship and it's not making the top 10 list. So, Nightwolf was a bit of a fail. But nonetheless, we now have our top 10 Mortal Kombat Trilogy friendships, 1 through 10. Number 10, the basic gift-giving friend, Baraka. Number 9, Katana, blowing bubbles. Who doesn't love blowing bubbles with friends? It's true at any age. Number 8, Liu Kang, doing the finger puppet dragon show, and doing it masterfully. That was well done, Liu Kang. Number 7, Charleston from Cyrax. Not just the Charleston, but a perfect form of it. He's clearly got programming for it. Number 6, Johnny Cage autographing his picture, giving it to you. Number 5, going bowling with Noob Saibot. Man, what a friendly sport that is. You always go with friends to bowl. And really, I have to say, the top 5 are solid, starting with Noob Saibot and moving on to Sub-Zero, turning himself into a snowman. You know, if I had to redo this, I might put Sub-Zero a little bit higher, maybe 1 or 2 spots higher. But it gets so good, 1 through 5, it's hard to rank these perfectly. But building a snowman is just a classic thing to do with friends. God, I love that one. Number 3, Good Guy Striker, being the friend and making sure everyone gets across safely. And number 2, Sindel, being the socializer party goer, getting all the friends together to do some football. And number 1, you know, you can argue about the placement of 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are all solid. You can shuffle those around. But what I don't think you can do is displace Cabal from number 1, because it's not just a great friendship. It's the setting of making marshmallows, roasting them over the open fire, bonding with someone, becoming friends, and possibly becoming best friends. And that's what friendships are all about. So, I'm not a huge fan of Cabal, but I am happy and I'm proud to see his friendship at the number 1 spot. Now, that's my top 10 Mortal Kombat Trilogy friendships, and as I said at the beginning of this video, how the hell are you supposed to rank friendships? We've given it a shot, I've given you my logic, but please, 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 in the comments, tell me where you think I went wrong. I'd love to see all of the differing opinions. And with that, we'll call it. That is the end of the top 10 Mortal Kombat Trilogy friendships ranking video. Y'all take it easy, and I will see y'all next time.